Welcome to Imperfect in an Uncertain World, resources for living with authenticity and purpose. I hear a lot of talk about the new normal and returning to normal. But what does that mean? So I'm going to invite you to journey through the rabbit hole into the new normal with me. I used to wish that I was normal, even in those moments when I wasn't sure what normal meant. And I think for each of us, we believe normal is something a little bit different. Our perception of normal is a little different. And I will tell you, normal for me seemed to be stability, a respite from the uncertainty, and unconditional belonging. Yet, the more I clung to it, the more I was attached to it, this normal seemed elusive. But I never stayed fixated on this normal for long. I have to believe, and I know I was practicing non attachment because the little successes and the big dreams jolted me from the desire of that perceived normal and into the comfortableness of my own skin. That I really began to see the life that I was living was my normal, and that was okay. I saw the ways that that other perceived normal that I yearned for just didn't fit into my lifestyle. And to be honest, I liked the way that I wasn't quite normal. Then COVID-19 happened, and I think years from now, we're going to remember this as the time that the world stopped, slowed down, and who knows what's going to manifest after this. In an instant, the doors to the old normal slammed shut, and the world changed in ways that I never would have imagined. Now, there are some stressors for sure, and um, I found myself having to relax my jaws when I went to sleep and even relax my jaws throughout the day because I found I was clenching myself, unsure of what this uncertainty would bring. But there's also a wide openness, a flexibility, an opportunity to draw from the center of our being, to be the person that maybe we forgot about, but we were meant to be all along. And I think the most important thing is to discover what normal means for each of us. Now, I'm not saying that these aren't scary times. They are. Um, unless you are fortunate to have transitioned into a work from home situation, times are financially scary. If you have a pre existing condition, times are medically scary. If you work in an essential job, each moment at that job brings the fear of uncertainty. And I spoke with someone who has a stay-at-home job, regular income, and she is still scared about what is happening here. So we're each dealing with our fears in the normal we find ourselves in. But a voice is saying to me, stop. These not so normal times are times of opportunity. Each of us is called to gather our courage, turn around and face our fears. Because we're never really sure if we put them back here, I'm not going to look at them, they become insurmountable. But when we turn around and face them, then we're able to gather our courage and respond. And maybe, just maybe, that's what the new normal is all about. It's not spending the day yearning for what was and what may never return, um, or yearning for, in my case, what never was, but being courageous and curious in the midst of our fears. It's about naming our fears and then discerning what is working. And when we discern what's working, we're acknowledging what's not working. It's about being daring as we try new things. It's about responding with curious daring to the question, this is the real. and how am I going to live in it? And knowing that that question, the answer to that question, our response is fluid, and how we're living in this moment might shift how we're living in the next, because it necessitates that we be fluid, not rigid in how we're responding to the world around us. For me, the new normal invites me to live in the real while being very aware of how the siren's call, that illusion, attempts to seduce me into believing that things at some point will return to the way they were before. We don't have the luxury of believing this. The only luxury we have is believing in ourselves. And if you really think about it, that's not really a luxury, that's a need that each of us have. So, what I want you to do is to ask yourself, what are the little ways that you can find peace in these trying times? And you might spend some time, bullet points if you're not a journaler, just do bullet points of what you're doing to find peace and maybe what you can do to find peace. How does courage call you? Again, flexibility in the moment. When you're feeling fear, what's the one small thing you can do? Now, this can be as simple as asking for help or responding to a request for help. And that help doesn't mean that you have to drain your bank account or do something that just isn't you. You know, for example, some of the little things that I've done in the past 2 weeks. Um, I don't really like to ask for help, but a friend of mine kept posting all of the masks that she had made for people, and I asked her if I could have one, and she sent me one. A local animal shelter asked for money to meet a matching donation of $35,000. I sent a small donation that helped secure that $35,000 matching gift. I got online and I found a DIY mask and I modified the mask, and it was very, very simple to make. And I also had, and so that I could wear them whenever I was out and have a variety of them because I don't like to do the same thing over and over again. Uh, but I made extra that I could share with people. I also had some extra hand sanitizer, and gave it to some people who I knew needed hand sanitizer. I've also discovered my inner artist, which is probably the most fun part of this new normal for me, and am creating watercolor aura portraits for people. And that's something that I don't think I would have tried unless I had found some moments when my Tai Chi stopped that I could fill with something that was very creative. Now, none of these things and none of the things that you've surfaced that you do could happen without the courage, the daring to live in this new normal. And each simple response to the uncertainty increases my ability, increases your ability to live in this new normal. So no matter how much your new normal really differs from the old normal, I wish you the courage, the curiosity, and the daring to live in the joy of each moment. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was beneficial to you. More resources are available at intentandaction.com. That's INTENTANDACTION.com. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're having a little bit of a difficulty moving into your new normal, contact me. We can have a coaching session, an intuitive conversation, or I can create an aura portrait to find out what the message is for you in these new times. No matter what you do, I'm going to invite you to really live in the new normal in a way that brings life to yourself. Thank you and have a terrific day.